If you've watched some of my other videos or read my guest posts for other publications, you'll know that I am a big fan of bootstrapping and utilizing independent contractors to help accomplish that. However, with all of the press that the use of the misclassification of independent contractors and employees is getting, I figured that I needed to remind you all that while the use of independent contractors can be of great benefit to businesses in certain situations, you have to make sure that these independent contractors are actually independent contractors and not just employees whom you're just avoiding classifying as such. Now, I'm not a lawyer or an IRS regulations expert, and if you're not sure how to classify someone who works for you, you should definitely consult an expert. However, there are some basic rules that you can use to help you decide if a particular role should be classified as an employee or as an independent contractor. The first criterion that the IRS uses to decide if someone is an employee or an independent contractor is behavior control. Do you control the way the person does the job that they're assigned, or do you just need a particular output at a particular time? If you tell someone when, where, and how they must complete the work that you give them, or if you provide detailed training for the method of completion, then they're probably an employee for you. The second criterion is financial control. If the person working for you is in control of his or her own business expenses, sends you an invoice for work, can decide how much to charge and whether that rate means he or she makes or loses money, then that person is probably an independent contractor. If, however, you provide all of the equipment and materials, set the rates, and pay without being invoiced, then that person is probably an employee. Finally, the way you structure the relationship is key to whether the person is considered an employee or an independent contractor. Does he or she work for you indefinitely at a set rate, or is he or she contracted on a per project basis? If someone is hired to do a specific project in a specific time frame for a specific price, he or she is probably a contractor. If, however, you hire him or her for an indefinite number of projects lasting an undetermined amount of time and pay what amounts to a salary, you probably have an employee. It's important to make sure that you're not misclassifying employees as independent contractors, because the IRS is cracking down and you can wind up in a lot of trouble and facing stiff penalties if the IRS decides that you should have classified some or all of your independent contractors as employees and followed the relevant tax and employment laws.
Did you find this video helpful or fun? Then share it with a friend who you think would benefit from the dish, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Facebook and subscribe to my channel on YouTube so you never miss any of the latest tips, tricks, and tutorials to help your business grow. And you get to see my adventures through the wide world of entrepreneurship and how I use the freedom running my own business gives me. Also, remember to head over to CateCosta.com so you can get in on the conversation about how to build your business to success so you can live your life your way.